she's a one of ones, but is there like a comparison of someone that you played with that you guys watching the game right now that reminds you of the young lady to your right?
I like Payton Pritchard from Boston, the way he's able to handle the basketball. He makes big shots when the shot clock's running down, a lot like this young lady right here. Isn't afraid of the big moment and is a champion like she's soon to be.
That face, that exact moment right there. That's not confusion. That's not surprise. That's the face of someone who just got publicly compared to a bench player when she knows damn well she's revolutionized an entire league. Reggie Miller just made one of the most awkward comparisons in sports television history. And Caitlin Clark's reaction said everything her professionalism wouldn't let her say out loud.
When have we seen Caitlin Clark ever look like this? I mean, this is a look of, damn, I cannot believe he just said that about me. Now, like I stated, this right here has made national news across the country. Many reporters are talking about it. Let me read this caption right here. It stated, Caitlin Clark made her NBC debut last night for Sunday Night Basketball, and Reggie Miller was asked to give his best NBA player comparison. Now, that's why I say
Look at that expression. We've watched Caitlin Clark handle physical abuse on the court, deal with jealous competitors, navigate media storms about race and recognition. Through all of it, she's maintained that composed, media-trained smile. But right here, on her NBC analyst debut, sitting next to a Hall of Famer on live television, that mask slipped, and the internet absolutely exploded. This wasn't some random podcast or casual conversation. This was Sunday Night Basketball on NBC, prime time. Caitlin's big debut as an analyst. And Reggie Miller, when asked to compare her to an NBA player, said Payton Pritchard, not Steph Curry, not Luka Doncic, not even Damian Lillard. Payton Pritchard, a solid role player who averages 8.3 points per game off the bench for Boston.
This shouldn't even be up for debate. I don't know why he said Payton Pritchard. Hopefully I'm saying the young man's name right. But Dave Portnoy weighed in on the conversation. He said, I love Payton Pritchard, but this may be the worst comparison ever. It's Magic or Steph. Maybe a worse SGA. Wow. Now, one NBA player has opened up about this entire situation on his podcast, and that is Paul Pierce. He definitely weighed in on the Reggie Miller, comparing her to...
Dave Portnoy called it immediately. He said this might be the worst comparison ever. And he's not wrong. Think about what Caitlin Clark accomplished in 2024. She broke the WNBA rookie scoring record. She led the league in assists as a first-year player. She sold out arenas in every city she visited. She increased WNBA viewership by 70% when she played. Television networks restructured their entire broadcast schedules around her games. And Reggie Miller compared her to a guy who plays 15 minutes a game off the bench. The obvious comparison is Steph Curry. Everyone sees it, the deep threes from the logo. The court vision. The way defenses have to pick her up at half court because she'll pull from 30 feet without hesitation. The ability to make everyone around her better. Caitlin Clark is doing in the WNBA exactly what Steph Curry did in the NBA. Fundamentally changing how the game is played and watched.
This is an embarrassment.
Look at her face, dog.
This
Maybe she's just awkward. It's her first time doing like media on TV. She's doing the media, holding the mic.
Payton Pritchard.
Go ahead, P. Let P. Say his piece.
Like, she had the look of like, bro. Dog. I was thinking more Steph Curry.
Everybody thinks that because of impact. We're talking about skill set, though. Just skill set alone.
He instantly says Steph Curry. You know, and like, that's way before we even played this clip. That's exactly what I said, is that when you look at the style of play Caitlin Clark has, it's very similar to Steph Curry. And it's hard, very, very hard not to see that. I mean, it's clear as day. Logo threes, backdoor threes, you can call it whatever you want. When it comes to her cerebral, her brain, and the way she shoots the basketball is next level, bro. It's just next level. But let's listen.
Her skill set and her magnetic pull.
That's an impact.
Yeah, but that's part of the game, though.
Just
That's part
skill
of her
set.
game.
Because her impact, but then like
But
she
her
doesn't make a
skill set is what makes defenses react to her that way, though, Danny. No?
What are you
Defenses
talking
don't
about?
react to Payton Pritchard like that.
They're not doubling him everywhere, face guarding, denying him like they do her, like they do Steph.
Are they doing that to her?
Did you see her
Yes.
in the USA game,
I don't think they do.
in the
I don't
Olympic
think they're
game, where
doing
they
that.
were like deny? They're picking it up, her up full.
Yeah, but they ain't, bro. They're not. What you're saying, not doing all of that, bro. They
They're
pick her
doing
up.
that.
Bro.
What are you watching?
He said
You're
because
not
Payton
watching the
Pritchard
game.
takes deep threes, they're the
I'm
same
saying
player.
it's no. That's not what I'm saying.
That is what you're saying.
No, he said that.
Paul Pierce gets it. Listen to how he breaks this down on his podcast. He immediately goes to Steph Curry, and his co-host tries to walk it back by talking about skill set versus impact. But that's a false distinction. Caitlin's skill set is what creates her impact. Defenses don't double-team Payton Pritchard at half court. They don't face guard him 40 feet from the basket. They don't completely restructure their defensive schemes because he's on the floor, but they do all of that for Caitlin Clark. We watched it happen in the Olympics when Team USA played. International defenses were picking her up full court, denying her the ball, sending help defenders the moment she crossed half court. That's not role player treatment. That's superstar treatment. That's the gravitational pull that only elite players possess. And here's what makes this comparison even more insulting. Reggie Miller knows what it's like to be that player. He was that player. Defenses game planned specifically to stop him. He changed how teams defended the three-point line. He understands the difference between a good player and a transformational player, better than almost anyone in basketball history. So either he genuinely doesn't see what everyone else sees in Caitlin Clark's game, or he was caught off guard by the question and gave the first answer that popped into his head. Given that it was live television and he was working in the moment, I'm inclined to give him the benefit of the doubt, but the damage was done the second those words left his mouth.
And now basically any arena you go to, it's sold out. We're adding 2 teams. We're up to 14 now, and then hopefully getting to 18 in the next couple of years. So, business is booming, and that's a really good thing. And we kind of just got to keep meeting the moment. The talent's getting better and better. You see it at the college level coming into the professional game too. So I feel very fortunate, and hopefully I have a long career ahead of me as well.
So that was Caitlin Clark giving her first ever NBA analyst. Now there is more little small clips, I believe.
More specifically because
There
there's
go Caitlin
things
there
in
next
his
to
game
Carmelo
maybe you would want
Anthony
to add
there.
to
Let's
yours
check
in the
this
league.
out.
Man, I think Luka. Luka's amazing and he's incredible. I think the way he can not only score the ball, but also the way he passes. And I think the thing about him is like,
Look at how fluid she is, bro. Caitlin Clark was made for this position. I just got to be honest, man. Like she's coming. I don't know if she rehearsed, but she's definitely unscripted.
he's not the fastest, he's not the most athletic, but he can get his defender to move where he wants him to go, and he takes up.
And this is where it gets really important. Caitlin's sitting there on her analyst debut, and she's talking about the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement negotiations. She's talking about how this is one of the biggest moments in women's sports history. She's confident they're going to get a deal done, and she's right to be confident. Because here's what nobody wants to say out loud, but everyone knows is true. The WNBA's negotiating position in February 2025 is exponentially stronger than it was 2 years ago. And that's almost entirely because of Caitlin Clark. The league added 2 expansion teams. Television viewership shattered every previous record. Attendance doubled in multiple markets. Merchandise sales went through the roof. Sponsorship deals that were never on the table suddenly became possible. Caitlin Clark didn't just lift her own boat. She lifted the entire ocean, and now players across the league are about to benefit from collective bargaining agreements that include charter flights, better salaries, improved working conditions, things they've been fighting for but couldn't get because the league didn't have the leverage or the revenue.
Clark is shutting down NBC at this point, man. This is beautiful, beautiful coverage, man. I ain't see this one. Let me listen to this.
It's a WNBA All-Star in Caitlin Clark, and guess what? We had our own Jamal Crawford and Zora Stevenson welcome her in, but the NBC way.
Grown up, some called it pig.
Oh, wow.
Of course, the kids game today. We're calling it NBC. All right, house rules are set. Who gets the first shot? You can go first.
Left hand free throw.
That's crazy. Wow.
This could go anywhere.
Okay.
Feels on the line.
There we go.
Watch how comfortable she is on camera. This isn't someone struggling through their first broadcast. She's analyzing Luka Doncic's game with the same cerebral approach she brings to her own playing style. She's talking about how he's not the fastest or most athletic, but he controls space, manipulates defenders, takes what the defense gives him. She's describing her own game without even realizing it. This is what makes the Payton Pritchard comparison so absurd. Caitlin Clark processes basketball at an elite level. She sees plays developing 3 passes ahead. She understands defensive rotations instinctively. She makes reads that most players can't see until they watch film. That's not role-player basketball IQ. That's Hall of Fame level understanding of the game.
Ow!
Do you believe in magic or what? I know you create some all the time.
This is for game.
This is for game.
All right.
There's literally 0% chance he makes this again.
That's our welcome to the NBC moment.
Hey, this is so cool, man. I can't even lie. This is like the coolest thing ever, bruh.
There we go.
She knew it right away.
Oh. Let's see it quick, NBC.
Wow. I don't ever slow up. No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fake.
Wow.
If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up. No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do
Guess what?
so
The game
instinctive and so
episode counts for a
passionate.
point.
Every word I'm moving so distinctive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks. This and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I can roast, I can gas, think I'm okay and last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness.
Game.
You like to double down, oh,
Okay.
goodness.
All right.
Okay.
One leg.
Tie game.
In it.
Short.
Yeah, all right.
It's hard.
Shortly good.
Yeah, all right.
And B.
That looks good too. All right.
Okay. Okay, well, here comes B.
All right. All right. B, here we go.
Boom.
Ah.
All right, let's end it.
And you're comfortable.
Good job.
Great job. Way to hoop.
That was fun.
So that was Caitlin Clark on NBC here.
And NBC knows what they have. Look at this production. They've got her playing horse with Jamal Crawford and Zora Stephenson. They're showcasing her personality, her shooting ability, her comfort in front of the camera. This isn't how you treat someone you view as just another analyst. This is how you treat someone you're building a broadcast franchise around. Because that's what's actually happening here. NBC isn't just using Caitlin Clark for one game. They're positioning her as a long-term media presence. They understand that her value extends far beyond her playing career. She's articulate, knowledgeable, charismatic, and she brings an audience with her. The same fans who packed arenas to watch her play will tune in to hear her analyze games. That's the Steph Curry comparison again. Steph didn't just change basketball. He became a cultural icon who transcends the sport. He's a brand unto himself. That's the trajectory Caitlin Clark is on. And everyone can see it except apparently Reggie Miller on live television. So let's talk about what this Payton Pritchard comparison reveals about how some people in basketball still view the WNBA. Because this isn't really about Reggie Miller making an awkward comment in the moment. This is about the persistent tendency to undervalue women's basketball, even when the evidence of its quality and impact is overwhelming. Payton Pritchard is a good NBA player. He shoots well, he plays solid defense, he contributes to winning basketball, but he's not a star. He's not someone opposing coaches lose sleep over. He's not someone who forces defenses completely change their game plan. He's a rotation player on a championship team, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that's not what Caitlin Clark is in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark is a generational talent who broke the NCAA all-time scoring record, male or female. She averaged 31.6 points per game as a college senior, while also leading the nation in assists. She then entered the WNBA and immediately became the face of the league, shattering viewership records and attendance marks everywhere she played. In her rookie season, she averaged 19.2 points and 8.4 assists per game, leading all rookies in scoring and the entire league in assists. When Caitlin Clark played, WNBA games averaged 1.32 million viewers on major networks. When she didn't play, that number dropped to 39,000. That's a 235% increase in viewership. Indiana Fever home games sold out for the first time in franchise history. Road games in cities like New York, Los Angeles, and Phoenix saw attendance spikes of 300 to 400% when the Fever came to town. That's not Payton Pritchard impact. That's not even all-star impact. That's transcendent league-altering, culture-shifting impact. That's the kind of impact that gets compared to Magic Johnson revolutionizing the point guard position, or Steph Curry revolutionizing three-point shooting. And here's the thing about the Steph Curry comparison that makes it so obvious. It's not just about the deep threes, though those are certainly part of it. It's about how both players force defenses to extend 40 feet from the basket. It's about how both players make everyone around them better because of the attention they draw. It's about how both players have fundamentally changed what's considered a good shot in basketball. Before Steph Curry, pulling up from 30 feet was considered a bad shot even for good shooters. After Steph Curry, it became a legitimate weapon if you had the skill. Caitlin Clark is doing the same thing in the WNBA. She's expanding the definition of what's possible, and younger players are watching and learning that they can push those boundaries too. The skill set comparison holds up under scrutiny. Both players have elite ball handling that allows them to create space in traffic. Both have court vision that leads to highlight assists and makes their teammates better offensive players. Both have the ability to score in bunches when their team needs a run. Both have that clutch gene where they want the ball in the biggest moments. Both have changed how defenses have to prepare for games. Watch how teams defend Caitlin Clark now compared to how they defended her in April. Early in her rookie season, teams were still figuring out how to handle her. By the playoffs, every team had specific defensive schemes designed to limit her effectiveness. Face guarding, trapping on screens, denying her the ball in transition, sending help defenders the moment she crossed half court. That's superstar treatment. That's what teams do to players who can single-handedly beat you. Payton Pritchard is a nice player who hits open threes and runs the second unit effectively. That's valuable. But teams don't game plan around stopping Payton Pritchard. They don't send double teams at him. They don't restructure their entire defensive philosophy because he's on the floor. The comparison doesn't hold up to even basic scrutiny. Now, to be fair to Reggie Miller, he was put on the spot on live television. The question came at him quickly, and he had to answer in real time without the benefit of thinking it through. We've all said things in the moment that we'd phrase differently if we had time to consider. That's part of live broadcasting. You don't get do-overs. But the fact that Payton Pritchard was the first name that came to his mind is what's revealing. It suggests that even someone as knowledgeable about basketball as Reggie Miller might not fully grasp the magnitude of what Caitlin Clark has accomplished and what she represents for the sport. Or maybe he does grasp it, but his brain went to a player with a similar skill set without considering the vast difference in impact and importance. Either way, the comparison landed with a thud, and Caitlin's face in that moment told the whole story. She's too professional to call it out. She's too media savvy to create a controversy on her first day as an analyst. But that expression, that brief moment where the mask slipped, that was real. That was her genuine reaction to being compared to a bench player when she knows she's changed the entire trajectory of women's basketball. The broader issue here is that the WNBA and its players are still fighting for the respect and recognition they've earned. Despite record viewership, despite sold-out arenas, despite mainstream media coverage that didn't exist 5 years ago, there's still this persistent tendency to diminish women's basketball. Sometimes it's overt, sometimes it's subtle, and sometimes it's an awkward comparison on live television that reveals underlying biases even the person making the comparison might not realize they have. Caitlin Clark has handled all of this with remarkable grace. She's dealt with physical play that crossed the line into danger. She's navigated conversations about race and privilege that she never asked to be part of. She's watched other players diminish her accomplishments by attributing her success to her race rather than her skill. She's been called a white savior by people who should be celebrating what she's done for the league. Through all of it, she's kept playing at an elite level and kept saying the right things publicly. But that face, that reaction to the Payton Pritchard comparison, that was a reminder that she's human, that the constant undervaluing of her accomplishments wears on her even if she'd never say so publicly. So where does this leave us? Reggie Miller probably wishes he could take that answer back. Caitlin Clark will continue being professional and gracious because that's who she is. And the rest of us will keep having the same conversation about why women's basketball still doesn't get the respect it deserves even when the evidence of its quality and importance is overwhelming. The Steph Curry comparison isn't just accurate. It's obvious. It's what everyone who watches basketball with any level of understanding immediately sees. And the fact that it wasn't the first comparison that came to Reggie Miller's mind on live television tells you everything about how far the WNBA still has to go in changing perceptions, even among people who should know better.